today we're going to be making a card using the Christmas Blockbuster. This one is with the Festive Fun set and it is a Pawsome Christmas topper set. I'm going to be using the construction glue, foam pads, some black mirror, an 8-inch card base and our Diamond Sparkles Pearls, the black and silver set. Okay, so we'll take our 8-inch card base and we're going to start by cutting a piece of 8-inch by 8-inch card to cover the base of our card blank. So let's extend my arm out. And then we're going to bring in our plain cardstock from this set, and we're going to cut a matting layer for the mat that we've already cut, using the right hand side of the card that's got the doggy image on it. Now I'm going to be cutting into this layer to create 4 separate pieces, so we're going to cut it slightly different from usual. So I would normally cut my layer by coming 3 notches in from the mat side, so that would usually be 3 notches in from the 8, but because I'm cutting it in again and I want a nice and even sections, I'm going to bring it in further another 1.5 notches, so that'll be a total of 4.5 notches. Okay, and I'm going to do that on both sides of my measurement. So again, bring this in to 4.5 notches under my 8. And this will make more sense when we place it back on the mirror shortly. So now I want to cut this panel into 4 separate sections. So I'm going to start by cutting a 1.5-inch panel from this side of the card. So I'm going to turn it round, take it up to my 1.5-inch mark, and just cut that off. And now that I've got this piece with my tartan section at the facing this way, I'm going to put that up to 2.5 inches and cut again, and just put them at one side because we are going to put these all back together, jigsaw them back together onto our mat in a second. Now I'm going to take this piece that we've cut, and with the dogs facing to the right, I'm going to line this up with 3.5 inches and cut across there. And then, as you will see, they'll all fit back together nice and neatly and should give a nice even layer around the card. It just adds a little bit more depth. So before I stick anything down, I'm just going to put these back on to show you the effect that we're going to get. And it's just going to give us that nice even black border between all the pieces that we cut. And once you're happy that you've got your measurements and your cuts right, we can add that back into place. So just take our construction glue, which is really useful when you're adding lots of pieces back on like this, because it gives you that wiggle room and that time to move things around if they don't quite hit and match up when you first put them in place. So we'll take our second piece that meets the bottom, a bit more construction glue, and line this up so we've got a nice even border from the edge of the mat, and that it's on a nice even line with the bottom piece that we've already added to the card. Okay, so we'll take our top little section and do the same. We want to make sure again that we've got a nice even border around the 2 sides and that it's in line with the first side section. And then one last time, with the big top piece. And once everything's nice, we can... And this just gives us these nice extra border sections to add a little bit more interest on our card base. So now we're going to go back to our topper set, and we're going to take this top square and just pop it out. I'm going to take the outer frame and the inner picture, take the outer frame to one side. I'm going to use a bit more of my construction glue to pop my frame down. And we're going to put this quite closely up to the top of the left hand side of the card. Give that a good press down. And then add your topper back in the centre using some foam pads. Nice and even. And pop that down. Now we're going to take back in a little bit of the tartan border that you trimmed off when you were trimming your cardstock down, and we're going to use this to create two little banner tags on our card. So I now want this to come just falling under onto our second section of the card. So if I just mark that at the top, and I know where I should cut it to reach the top of the card. And then we're just going to trim into the bottom a little banner point by just cutting a little triangle away. And again, a bit of construction glue. And we're going to add this about an inch in from the right hand side of the card. And pop that in place. Then back to our topper set, and I'm going to take this little sentiment topper here. It is the season to be jolly. And I'm going to add foam pads to the back of that. And place this over the top of our little banner strip with the ends poking out, and you can line that up to your existing topper. Okay, so we're going to go in now again, and we're going to take the Wishing You Both a Marvellous Christmas. Again, the foam pad on the back, and place the foam pad towards the top of the sentiment, so we've got a little bit of room to add another little banner strip underneath. So we're going to add this, line the edge up with the other frame. We're just going to trim the remaining bit of tartan banner we've got left. Just make sure it fits nicely underneath. And we're going to do exactly the same again and create a little banner edge by cutting a little triangle away from the bottom. And add a bit of construction glue. And then you can just slide this in place underneath the left hand side of your banner. And press that down. And now we're going to bring in our black pearls. And we're going to add a big one to the top of the banner strip up here, one underneath the sentiment on our banner strip down here. I'm going to take 3 down the side of this topper, a little bit further apart, and get them a nice even placement. I'm going to take 3 in the bottom right hand corner, a little bit closer together. And then just for a little bit of fun, I'm going to take the tiny little ones and place them on the doggies' noses, just to give them that little bit of shine. And then your card's ready to add onto your card base. So again, in with my construction glue. Nice, even covering. I put my nozzle directly to my cardstock so too much doesn't come out. Give it a little move around so it's covering all the white. And there we have a Pawsome Christmas 8-inch card.